Hurry, 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 folks, it's the greatest show on earth. Come see alien, deformed clowns shoot popcorn lava at people out of giant modified super soakers. Thrill as they wrap them in candy cocoons that look suspiciously like ball sacks. And watch some of the greatest puppetry on earth when the clown lava popcorn come to fruition. Hurry, 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 get your tickets. It's the greatest show on earth. And I think that's how they pitched Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Right, they would have had the Enter the Gladiators, because that's the name of that song.
So Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
I had a great time watching this movie. I gotta say.
This was a definite palate cleanser. After
Rollerball.
Garbage Pail Kids and Rollerball.
Still better, way better than Nick Fury. Way better.
Yeah, this was a much rollerballer film than Nick Fury.
I love how they just kind of jump right into it. They let you know what's coming because the Killer Klowns from Outer Space have their own theme song.
Killer Klowns.
So metal-ish, kind of, in an 80s kind of way.
They also have their own Beetlejuice font.
Yep. I like in the opening of the movie where the kid's jaywalking and he's got like Peggy Hill glasses, like the big red round glasses, and he's bought beer brand beer.
I was gonna say, apparently they couldn't get a sponsor because it just says beer. And we get the first.
I think they did the same thing on like Roseanne and sitcoms in the 80s. Like it would just be beer or cola.
Roseanne couldn't get a beer sponsorship?
Not in the first anyways, because every time I ever saw Dan get a beer out of the fridge, it would say beer on it. Just
wow.
Beer. Yep.
So, and right away, I think the first character we meet is fucking Dean Wormer from Animal House.
Yes.
Who just doesn't like anyone.
He hates everyone in this movie.
Everyone else is an asshole in Dean Wormer's world.
And here's the thing, if Dean Wormer encountered this iteration of him, he'd be like, calm down, will ya?
Oh, I know. Even the Dean Wormer character from Animal House has like some humanity.
This guy just flat out hates everybody.
He sees that guy with the Peggy Hill glasses and the paper bag, and he says, "Son of a bitch." As if that's like the most offensive thing. Yeah.
College kid jaywalking and having a beer.
And the best part is he early on in this movie, in this scene where you get the introduction to him, he calls into the precinct and he's like, "Hey, it's whatever his name is in the movie. Oh, Mooney here." Yeah. And the guy's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "Nothing yet, but Friday's just starting." I'm like, really? You had to call that in?
Well, how else would everybody know he's crusty? It's Mooney here, just checking in. Still crusty as ever.
Like, thanks for the update, dude.
You're not welcome.
I
like how the makeout area in this town is called Top of the World.
It just reminded me of that song, "I'm on the top of the world," you know?
Really, because when I felt like the first guy who made out, he felt like Durante. I think it was Durante, or maybe it was Cagney in that movie. Top of the world, Ma! Top of the world!
Yeah, James Cagney's in this movie. I think he's one of the clowns. I
finally made out with a chick. Top of the world, Ma!
These are some, I gotta say too, these are some fancy-ass teenagers drinking wine.
They are some old-ass teenagers drinking wine.
That also.
Because even if, I get that they're probably not high school, because I think they talk about the college a lot that they never go to.
Some of them are like 35.
Oh, yeah. Like, you think of your traditional college freshman, 21, maybe, at the oldest. These guys were easily in their 30s.
And
dressed that way, too.
And I'm not going to say I noticed this, because I had to look it up, because there's no way I would have caught this. But did you know that one of these quote-unquote teenagers is Christopher Titus?
Yes, I knew that.
From
from Titus.
Titus show. He is the dude with the glasses who basically shows up at like very briefly. Very, very briefly.
He's the one who gets tossed or eaten in the dumpster, doesn't he?
Is that him? Oh, I thought it was the... maybe. I know he's like... I didn't recognize him at all.
I only saw it and I was like, hey, wait a second. And then he was gone. He was eaten in the dumpster. So...
Yep. So we quickly meet these two. Now I don't know how I feel about these characters.
I think they have some good humor about them.
The Terenzi brothers. They show up in an ice cream truck.
Yeah,
attempting
you didn't
to
see
sell.
what I did. You didn't see what I did there.
What did you say?
I said I think they have some good humor about them.
Oh, fark! Ice cream puns
There
a
you
mundo.
Yeah, they're trying to sell ice cream to folks who are making out.
Yeah, I actually wrote down what they say when they show up because it made me laugh.
Well, do tell.
We'll give you the stick, you give it a lick, and it will tickle you all the way down. A tasty treat for while you screw. Also, did you get, I will admit, I thought I had seen this movie before, and I will, in a later scene, I'll explain, why I thought I saw this movie before, because there's a very similar scenario to a really shitty movie. But when the ice cream truck showed up, I was like, holy shit, the clowns are already here? I thought that was, right away. And then it turns out they're, bribing these chicks with, ice cream in the back of their truck.
Yeah, and they're like, you're not getting any.
Yeah, keep your shirt on. Don't worry, I will be. This movie is fantastic.
On so many levels.
And so our lead, I just refer to him as nasally Christopher Walken. That's what he sounded like at times to me. He wasn't always doing a Walken, but sometimes it sounded like he was doing a Walken.
Well, yeah, I get it. They're the acting choices in this movie.
Oh man! And they're making out in a raft.
That was odd. They weren't even near the ocean or the rivers or anything.
Also, okay, so our main guy Mike and his girlfriend Debbie. Do you see the way he grabs her head to kiss her?
It's it's like
It's like he's trying to squeeze a coconut.
Yeah.
It's like Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Hopefully not with the same ending.
Kiss out of your face.
Brother. Like I said, hopefully that doesn't end in the same way that it ended with Superfly Jimmy Snuka and his former girlfriend.
Hey,
but...
whoa. Let's not take too dark a turn here.
That's what it looked like. I gotta say, too, before we even get to the clown stuff, this is PG-13, and it pushes PG-13. Some of the violence, some of the blood, even the blood at times, it pushes it. I think it might be an R today.
I think the reason why it would have been PG-13, at the time, I think the MPAA in the 80s was more concerned with boobies than ultraviolence.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good job, MPAA.
They're the only booby you get in this. Really, you get some veiled pizza nipple.
Oh God!
Later on, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the twins.
When they're delivering when one of the clowns is when they're capturing people, he delivers a pizza to this girl's house, and she opens it up, and she's got a negligee on, and it's kind of see through, and you can see her boobie.
I thought you were talking about the roommates, which we'll get to later on. So, yeah, crazy acting choices. I was going to say that should be probably the alternate title to this movie. Most crazy acting choices from outer space.
The alien spaceship is a circus tent.
Yeah.
That was kind of a, I love how they just went. They never offer any explanation behind the killer clowns, like their alien race, how things are kind of like. There's like a brief ponderance of why they may be the way they are, but other than that, nothing's explained, and they just go full on terrestrial clown. Like the aliens all look like clowns. Their circus tent motif for their spaceship, popcorn, everything is very circusy.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I like the fact that they don't bother with an explanation, because any explanation you try to give in a over the top stupid movie like that, this is not going to do anything for anyone.
No, it would take away from it too, because I mean, you get a movie with a title like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah,
you're not looking for nuanced dialogue and writing.
Guess what you want to see? Clowns killing people
and being from outer space.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's important too.
Yeah. I like the old guy was also the crusty old guy from Space Invaders.
Oh my, you mean the guy that's basically like ripped out of a cartoon?
Yes. And he's exactly the same way in Space Invaders.
I have not seen Space Invaders.
Oh, that one's going on the list.
You just made the list!
You just made the list, Space Invaders.
Oh God, I gotta say, I had a note here that I skipped over, but I just want to ask, when those brothers in the ice cream truck are driving away and they're arguing, why are they arguing on the microphone?
They're, because they're supposed to be incompetent, right?
Okay, I guess
it's
so.
Like that old shtick where like like if someone doing like an announcement for a military base or a school or something like that, and they're like, well, no, I don't think that's right. Well, it's not my fault that Linda slept with him. Jim, the mic's still on. What are you... Oh, son of a bitch.
Well, the best part is they don't even realize the mic's on.
No, I know.
By the end of the scene. And they're like, why don't we take him to the drive-in? That's a stupid idea. Wait, what's playing? Yeah, so old man cartoon here. He's all like, we gonna be rich! Yeehaw! What's his dog's name? Like Boo or something?
Something like that.
He's like, come on, Boo, let's go get these clowns! Yeehaw!
Poor old Boo goes missing. And he tries to tear the tent apart.
Poor Boo. And the tent is made out of, like, steel?
Yeah, he punches it and, like, breaks his hand, and he tries to rip it apart and gets electrocuted.
My favorite is that he goes... Oh, actually, I think I've called him Old Man Stereotype.
Oh, there you go. Good name.
He when they see the circus tent, the first thing he says is, well, the circus, maybe we can get some free passes. Instead of, what the fuck is the circus tent doing in the middle of the woods?
Yeah. Because it's all about location with the circus, man.
Oh, I gotta say, even in a movie as ridiculous as this, when that dog got taken, I was like, oh my God, no.
That upset me so much.
It was upsetting. And then
I gotta say though, for the clowns, they did some fantastic like prosthetics and makeup work. Like the clowns are top notch looking as far as aliens go.
They look terrifying.
Absolutely, as a good clown should.
Yeah, like, and their ears like will weirdly randomly move at times, like on their own.
Yep.
That was unnerving. But like, this is the good kind. We talk about a lot of movies on this here podcast where a lot of things are unnerving, but that when they shouldn't be. This was necessarily unnerving.
Yeah.
Which it's a credit too, because you'd think a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you're gonna see everything's gonna be just like really laughable, but at times there's parts that are actually pretty creepy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like the whole ventriloquism bit later on.
Oh Jesus!
The larva clowns.
Like, the girl, the kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get to all that. Oh, don't even worry.
But Old Man Stereotype gets taken by the clowns, and then we visit the local cop shop.
Okay, here is where
church hall.
What?
It doesn't look like a police station.
Oh no, you're correct. The outside or the inside?
Inside. It looks
Yeah,
like a
it's
church hall. It looks like someone shot it in a community center.
well, I guarantee you that's what happened.
Fair point.
So I have a big question here, because this is Dean Wormer catches these guys apparently drinking wine again. Wine,
But there was some subtext for these guys, and if I may,
What's that?
there was some subtext.
yes, that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, because when he arrests them, they're drinking wine together in the park
Because it's a beautiful night.
because it's a beautiful night, and he says that these people are killing this town.
Mm-hmm.
Are we to read that these two fellows are possibly gay?
I got that. Too.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking that.
No, and like he definitely calls them like boys too.
Yeah.
And
then
they're
he
both
accuses Deputy Dave of having a thing for them and essentially saying, Dave, you're a pedophile.
What are you, gay too?
Yeah.
Jeez, this man is just the most unlikable person on the
Hateful.
planet.
Yeah, he is a hateful human being.
I think Mother Superior finally has a husband.
If she were allowed to get married.
Yeah, too bad I can't do that.
If you thought that Dean from Animal House was bad, my husband's way worse.
Yeah. So not only that part is subtly offensive, but how about nasally Walken doing like a Native American stereotype voice?
Yes.
While they go investigate
many moons ago, that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that improv bit that he worked out with the UCB beforehand.
She calls him Chief Running at the Mouth.
Yeah. In 1988, I get it, but still.
Yeah, we were just working towards cultural sensitivity, trying our best. That's all we could do.
Like, you know, and people like I've heard criticism before when I talk about an old movie and saying like, oof, you know, that doesn't hold up today, and they say, oh well, it was a different time. Like, I get that, but still.
Yeah, it still doesn't make it any easier to watch today.
No, like it was okay then, but that's more a condemning of the times than like a free pass for that movie.
Yeah, I mean, think about Meshach Taylor in Mannequin. Like, well, you know, actually, stuff like that does kind of fly today. The only caveat for it is that the person who's doing it has to almost legitimately be in that minority. Look at Titus Andromedon from Kimmy Schmidt.
See, I thought I was surprised when I read this, but I thought I read that he was straight.
Oh, see, I've seen him in interviews and on commercials. There's just no way. Like,
I could be wrong. I thought I read that somewhere. Maybe not. I might be mistaken. Well,
I mean, he could be bi. I mean, and that would get him in there for anything.
Yeah. You get two options.
Yep.
So after Chief Running at the Mouth tries to impress, I guess he's trying to like, okay, he is the biggest dweeb in this movie too.
Oh, he is a absolute square.
Quick question: Jason Sudeikis from American Ninja or this guy? Who's the bigger dweeb? Tough, eh?
That is a tough one. I think I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna give.
Go ahead. I want your opinion.
I think I'm giving Sudeikis the slight edge.
Yep.
Just because that whole thing where the date set up from that movie.
I got this chick, man. I don't want to lose her.
She thinks I'm real rad.
Yep. Sudeikis wins. And
then, so this is a weird thing, too, because Debbie is the one that wanted to check this out. But then as soon as she sees the circus tent, she becomes the smartest person in the movie.
Yeah, she's like, nope.
And Mike is like, come on! And then he does this weird, like, monologue about, like, welcome to the circus! Whoa! The new wave European circus fantastique!
I think they were taking a dig at Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, without naming them specifically.
Yeah.
What about, there's a groaner here. Do you know which joke he tells? It's like, the Toys R Us joke.
The Clowns Are Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too.
Woof.
Yeah. I like the matte painting with the what is it, the Einstein ball thing there.
Oh, you mean the room from Empire Strikes Back?
Essentially, yeah, but with one of those static electricity balls that you
And
could
like
touch and it would arc to your finger.
one of the doors is locked with like buttons that are like just a combination of like sound effects. And he just like guessed the correct combination to get into the elevator.
Was it do 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 do?
It should have been.
Yes.
Also, how big is the interior of this ship?
It's huge. Like I think it's like a TARDIS. Like Doctor Who's thing, like it's way bigger on the inside than
like is it,
yeah.
Yeah. Like is part of it underground?
Actually, I think that might be the case because remember when they go back and the circus tent is gone, there's a crater there.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
And this
cotton candy testicles.
They look like ball sacks, 100%. Patty watched this with me, and she tried to play it off like, "Oh, they look like Christmas tree lights." I was like, "No, sweetheart, those look like ball sacks." And she just was not having it. They look like ball sacks.
Yeah, like testicles, pink balls hanging.
And up next is the section where we have the overreact, underreact in the same scene.
Oh, the underreaction, you mean like when they throw popcorn, they go, "Why popcorn? 'Cause they're clowns."
Yeah. Or just like how like she's freaking out and he's like, "No, come on, let's check it out some more." And it's like, "No, you shouldn't be checking it out at all. You should leave."
You should have left the second you saw a giant circus tent.
Yeah. And I did like the popcorn, not only in the gun that they were shooting them with, but also how almost like their infuser or whatever it is in their engine room because it's just popping popcorn as it's powering the ship.
Yeah. So tiny clown fetuses power their ship.
I guess, because that's what that popcorn that they shoot at them ends up being, but yeah.
The clowns also use like a balloon animal dog as a real dog.
That was brilliant.
I expected them to now here's my question. Did they transform Old Man Stereotype's dog into that dog?
That's a good question. Because he makes the dog out of the balloons, but I suppose there might have been some sort of, essence transfer into the balloons because they were going to make it into a bloodhound.
Yeah. It was like the same. It was obviously supposed to be the same breed.
Because it sniffs everything out and...
But then... Yeah, another dog dies.
Poor Balloony.
2 dogs already. There's also a shot here that I just wrote down Night of the Living Clowns.
Okay.
Because they're all just like stalking and like shuffling on towards the city after this point.
You mean when they passed that really...
they're like zombies basically now.
They passed that really terrible civic signage that said Crescent Cove 5 miles. And it looked like someone painted it with their hands.
So, Debbie is like, "Oh, don't worry, I have a friend who's a police officer. He'll believe everything."
She fails to mention that it was her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, who I think when she said I have a police officer friend, I was kind of hoping it was going to be Dean Wormer.
That would have been splendid.
"Hello, Debbie, I love you very much."
Who's this asshole?
But Wormer does call her a tramp.
Yes, but he hates everybody.
That's true.
I do like.
And I got a
go ahead.
question too.
Yep.
Dave and Wormer, is one of them the superior to the other? Because Wormer kind of takes an order from him at one point, and then another point he says, "I want to report on my desk."
I think they're both deputies, so they would. I mean, they would have to be equals.
Yeah. Maybe it's just his abrasive personality.
Possibly. I did like when the clowns got to, when they did get to town, they had that nice bit of business in front of the pharmacy.
Yes.
Because there's like a giant ape who's like moving and it's just animatronic. And one of the clowns takes the cue and starts doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's great because it doesn't like those two girls. I don't even think those two girls get like cotton candy shot or whatever.
I think one of them gets zapped or something inside.
Oh, maybe.
Because the pharmacist is too scared to do anything.
Isn't
for
this
a good solid hour?
His frightened reactions are amazing. Like, I'm pretty sure they shot the same. It was like the same shot, and they just kept showing it.
Well, you pay for the stock, you might as well use it, right?
That's right. Also, I gotta say, their victims are all really stupid too. Because why did that guy believe that there was just gonna be a puppet show?
I did enjoy the saucy puppet show.
But like, that guy's just like, oh yeah, middle of the night, a puppet show sounds good.
And wasn't that the Peggy Hill jaywalker from earlier?
What's that?
I said, wasn't that the Peggy Hill jaywalker from earlier?
Oh, is it Christopher Titus?
Oh, I don't... See, he looks... It could be because he's blonde and he's really young because it was the 80s and Titus would have been age appropriate at that time. It's just really hard because the only people who get names are like Debbie and Mooney and Dave and Mike.
Yeah.
And the two brothers. Nobody else really gets their name spoken.
And they disappear for about an hour.
Yes, because they're just comic relief. The brothers, anyways.
Like,
yeah.
What's that?
The brothers, they're just comic relief, so that's why they would disappear for about an hour with no explanation.
Yeah, they're just gone at this point.
I thought it was a lesbian at first.
Yeah, this is just a series of scenes here, I think, where the clowns are just wreaking havoc.
Yes, and because, I mean, they have to do that because we actually get the title spoken out loud at this point in the movie. Someone actually says, "Killer Clowns from Outer Space."
Mm-hmm.
And just puts it out there into the ether, which I commend the movie for doing that because it's fantastic. Everything about this movie.
I love that. I love. We get a bit of foreshadowing too, because as they leave, Dave decides, okay, well let's find these clowns. Mooney yells back at them, "You're not gonna make a dummy out of me."
Oh yes, nice.
I only caught that on the second go around, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's coming up.
I do have a note that I want Steve Carell or Ed Helms, if they ever remake this movie, to be Mike.
Well, I've heard that they are planning a sequel.
Yes, I did hear the same thing, yeah. 3 decades later.
And the guy who played Mike is in.
Of course he is.
He is a busy man, but he is willing to put aside his exploits for now and do Killer Clowns from Outer Space 2. Apparently next year.
Oh, well, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. I hope so.
I did enjoy the bit of business that happened at the biker bar.
What's
that bit of business with the biker bar where the clown has the killer uppercut?
Oh my god, he punches his head off.
It's straight up decapitation.
And that's another one where you get like that line that's like, "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's literally about 10 minutes where it's just clowns doing stuff to be killing people.
Some poor kid almost gets Squeaky Hammer murdered.
That started out creepy as shit.
I was
then
scared.
Hilarious, and then creepy again. Because I was like, oh my god, he's gonna hit her with a mallet.
Yeah. Luckily, turned out okay.
Yeah, mom intervenes.
Yeah. And then the
Although
pharmacist finally calls 911.
Yeah, and Mooney's all like, come on, this whole town's conspiring against me. I'm not going to answer any calls made to the police all night.
That's how 911 works. God.
He is a terrible police officer.
I did like the clown's speeder bike.
Oh, when they knock that guy off the side of the road?
Yes! And he's driving along and his feet are the lights and he's just going along with the truck.
Oh my god, that is the best and worst, like, matte painting.
Yep.
When he's driving alongside him. Because at times, it's like, he's a cartoon.
Yeah. And it looks just terrible.
And it's just like, wait a second. And that car, like, barely falls off the ledge and just explodes.
Yeah.
Into pieces.
And this is where, after that, we find out that the popcorn is not bullets, it's larvae.
Yeah.
Which was really unsettling. I'm glad I was eating chips when I watched this movie. But I had to put my popcorn down.
It's... oh, I'm gonna forever think of larva while I'm eating when I'm eating popcorn from now on.
There's a little clown baby growing in your stomach.
And they're not even like clown babies are even scarier than the clowns.
Oh, I know, they were terrifying. Some of the best parts of that movie, though, those puppet, I guess,
they're
caterpillar
kind of like they're like Venus flytrap clowns.
Yeah, yeah.
And Debbie has the best defense against it because one of them she puts a shower head in its mouth, and the other two she just kind of throws the shower curtain on and runs away. But I think even before that, this is possibly the best. Well, I think this is my favorite, or up there anyway. The kills is when he's making the shadow puppets.
Oh, the shadow puppets of death are awesome.
And like none of them make sense, obviously, because there's one that's nothing. Like, yeah. I don't know that famous what the name of that statue, like the Iwo Jima thing.
Oh, the flags. The guys are taking the hill.
Yeah. He makes that one, and then a giant dinosaur that eats them. And Mike is like, man. Dave, hurry up! He fucking careens the car into the wall.
What are you doing? But he doesn't put the brakes on or try to stop. He keeps the accelerator depressed as Mike tries to steer the car. Yeah.
And it may sound like we're going through this quick, but trust me, like, it's a fast-paced movie.
Very fast-paced.
This thing is over in, like, just over 80 minutes.
And it just goes at such a good clip.
Yeah.
I don't think I was bored once.
No, it doesn't slow down at all. Even when they're getting like the exposition stuff. Although there are some great lines from Mike, like nasal walking or whatever. Mm-hmm. When he and Dave go to find the tent, because he's like, the tent was right here. Obviously the tent is gone, and Mike is just like, I just can't prove it. My proof is gone.
Well, you know what they say, volume equals acting.
And if we haven't learned that from any of our movies that we've watched, then we haven't learned anything.
Yeah, we're going to get tweeted at by Mike from Killer Klowns.
You know, I wonder how many people got murdered in that town that night, because Mooney just wasn't answering the phone.
Well,
like,
I mean...
I'm not even talking about, like, clowns murdering them. I'm talking about, like, just regular murders.
Just somebody striking while the iron was hot, eh?
Yeah. Well, it looks like they're not answering at the Popo station.
Time to take care of that ex-wife.
It was basically Mooney would be a good cop during like the Purge.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, same as every day.
Well, yeah. There's so much stuff, like you said, like not even just like the clowns going on a rampage. There could be like full-on LA riots happening and he wouldn't have done a thing.
It's right outside his window and he's like, oh, goddamn conspiracy.
I'm not falling for it. You're not making a dummy out of me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so again, that employee of Big Tub Burger goes into the dumpster. That's a great scene. That takes place after that.
Mm-hmm. And then does the brothers show up again at this point?
Well, first I want to ask, the actor playing Dave, I don't think that actor knows how to drive for real. Because he has some of the worst, like, fake driving movements I've ever seen.
Is he, like, all over the place?
He's basically, when they stop, he's still, like, spinning the wheel.
Yeah, I my hands, I have to have business. I gotta keep doing stuff.
Oh, Wormer gets the one PG-13 fuck of the movie.
Yep.
Fuck you, over.
Yes! I love that he adhered to proper radio call etiquette.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't, he's just as bad as those boys, right?
Right. And the mayor will have his badge.
Those soft boys.
Let's not get
Which, by the way, they've been thrown in jail.
Yeah. Let's not get into the subtext of that too much.
But yeah, you're right. This is where the Terenzi brothers come back.
Yep, and then Mike convinces them to go over to Debbie's place because he thinks that she's in trouble, and they won't go at first.
Mm-hmm.
But he promises that she's got two big boobed roommates.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Yeah, let's go." It's so 80s. Like,
oh wait, but they have a question about them first though. Do they like ice cream? That was the selling point.
Well, yeah, that way they could possibly make out with some big boobed 80s chicks and, you know, make a couple of bucks from selling them ice cream.
It's the weirdest thing.
Yes.
Like, ice cream is their in.
And then, so this next bit with Mooney, at the police station.
Oh Lord!
With the clown, who shows up and squirts him with the flour and everything like that. At first, I thought he was like gonna have like corrosive acid face and he'd melt or something, but that didn't happen.
That was a good fake out because I thought that was the end of the scene right there. But it turns out the clown just wants to fuck with him. Yeah,
Mooney arrests him and then takes him back to the cells and stuff like that. And I have a note here. I was like, huh. It's like Heat of the Night, you know, but with clowns.
Exactly.
Where's Sidney Poitier when you need him?
Oh my god. If they had gotten Sidney Poitier for this movie...
Yes, the
to
killer
be like,
clowns from outer space.
He's awkwardly playing Dave.
Yes, I'm a college student.
You used to be my girlfriend. They used to call you Mrs. Tibbs.
I'd give you Mr. Tip.
Oh, yeah.
I normally don't work blue, but, you know. I like the Arthur Miller dance cutouts that they use for the clown's footprints.
Oh, yeah. Well, Wormer gets fucking... Okay, here's the thing. Wormer got killed by just, like, banging his head against the cell?
Well, I have a feeling that, you know, more might have happened because he would get knocked out, but then he would have to almost be, like, disemboweled or something like that because this is where the clown uses him as a ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, God.
That was a really unnerving part.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because he even makes the little, like, things on the corners of his mouth, like the lines. Mm-hmm. And he's got, like, the rosy cheeks.
Yeah.
Whew, brr.
It was, yeah, it's one of the few points of the movie where there's legitimate horror going on, because it's not just like he does it and then the business is over. The clown takes his hand out of him.
Oh, and it's all bloody and shit.
Yeah, yeah. So, there you go.
There's that.
Yeah.
And then he even, like, the line he says, because he's like, don't worry, we just want to kill you.
Yes. And that's the only bit of explanation that were ever offered as to why the clowns are here to do what they're doing.
Which is terrifying, because that means, like, literally, we're here to kill you and eat you.
Yeah.
And that's...
Because they never say, like,
yeah.
They are there to eat them, because the whole pink ball sack cocoon thing, they're all hanging almost in, like, near the engine room of the ship. And you think, oh, okay, they must use them as a source of fuel. Nope. One of the clowns just straight up drinks a guy.
Oh, that's when my note just said clown vampires?
Yeah.
Because and the way he drinks them is he takes a giant bendy straw.
Yes. That's crazy straw.
What a great, like, detail.
Oh, and this is where we find out that the clown nose is their weakness.
Yes, because Dave shows up to the police station.
Mm-hmm. And he shoots one of them
and
in the nose.
Sees that Wormer's dead. Yeah, which, by the way, his non-reaction to Wormer dying is understandable because he's a cock.
Oh, yeah. He's like, that couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what? I also kind of wanted Debbie to go back with Dave in this movie.
He seemed a much more solid choice, I'll tell you that.
Mike is just a big goober. And he hangs out with those brothers. Like, come on, where's that going to lead him?
That's definitely a situation that's going to be a point of contention later in the relationship, where she just hates his friends.
So let's go back to that thing with the popcorn, because that's Debbie fighting her way out of the bathroom.
Yes.
With those things. Actually, you know, they kind of reminded me of, like, little, almost like, again, Beetlejuice, like little Beetlejuice heads.
Mm. Or like Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying.
And, man, I gotta say, again, the effects for this, second to none. Like, this is, like, thinking in 1988, this is some of the best practical effects I've seen in a movie.
I can only hope that if they do make that sequel, that they stick to the same kind of style.
Yes. I would hate to see this CG'd to death. It would
if
suck.
They just, it would just be like, I don't know. There's something, like, charming about a terrible movie using, like, really bad special effects. Mm-hmm. Not really bad, but, like, you know what I mean? Just, like, dated, now dated.
Yeah, and either way, I'd still rather see, like, something that the actors are interacting with.
Yeah. I'm not saying Last Jedi needs to be all practical. I get that.
Yeah. But for a movie like this, or another, like, say, like, I don't know, even like an Aliens movie, you know, where, like a guy in a suit is so much more real and terrifying as a bad guy goes than the clearly CG'd in creature.
Now, the only exception I will make there is that I was a lot more scared of Godzilla, the Bryan Cranston one, than the original.
True. I mean, there is a limit, obviously. I mean, if your monster is supposed to be as tall as a building, that's a little different. If the monster is maybe 6 or 7 feet tall, like a xenomorph from Aliens, you can get somebody to do that, and it looks believable. So,
agreed. So she gets away from the popcorn things, but then now we figure out the clowns can, like, imitate people's voices.
Yes.
But, like, kind of shitty. Like they still have that weird alien voice thing. Yeah,
you think that they did it with Warmer, but then it makes sense almost like in the original Alien, where they used the vocal cords to make the voice happen. And then once the aliens connected from it, they can't talk again. But they're actually full on replicating Mike's voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With like the little like in the background. And so this is like, I think this gave me the biggest laugh of the whole movie. Is when she runs away, looks at the window, and the clowns are waiting there with like a trampoline or like a net.
Yes.
like in an old like cartoon, if the building was on fire or something.
Yeah. Like the firefighters are gonna catch her, and they got a big circle bouncy thing to catch you in.
It's so strange because like, okay, and then they zap her, but she doesn't go into cotton candy. She goes into like, what the hell balloon. Is that?
It's like a bouncy balloon. Like, I've seen them before at circuses. Usually it's like a teddy bear in a balloon or something like that. Like they'll take the balloon, they'll stretch it over top of like a small teddy bear or like some small stuffed animal, and they'll blow it up, and the balloon blows up big because it's super stretchy, and the plushie is now inside the balloon, and that's exactly what they did to her.
I still don't get why.
I don't either, and they don't explain that because everybody else has been put into cotton candy. Which,
like, kills them instantly, right?
I believe so, yeah, because it's the first time you see them afterwards, like, if someone tears away the cotton candy, you can see their bloody, partially disformed and melted face.
Yeah, and, like, I gotta say, too, every time in the movie that they did that somebody, like, ripped away a part of the cotton candy and saw the person's face, I could never tell who that was supposed to be.
No, and someone recognized the old man stereotype, but that was it.
Yeah, like the other times I was like, oh, I think that's supposed to be like one of the gay guys, but I don't, not 100% sure.
Yeah. So,
but
how close were they to the seaside? Because I got this thing like I felt like they were in like a small Midwestern town for the longest time, but when they go to confront the clowns, there's like a seaside and a pier and everything.
Yeah,
it was just weird to me.
Wait, are we talking about like the parade? Sorry.
Well, I guess no, not necessarily the parade, but like when they go to confront. They're driving along the coastline.
Yes,
and everything else in the movie felt like it was like a small inland town. Like they weren't near the ocean. Everything felt very Oregon or Midwestern, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, so the Terenzi brothers don't believe anything's going on yet until they see the clowns having a parade.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dave, also an excellent driver, is the character because he smashes into the back of their truck and then just decides, oh, okay, well, let's just take the truck then.
Yeah.
And then the chase begins as the clowns head to the amusement park. Now, I did notice something here, some terrific ADR, because as they're driving away, as our heroes are driving away, it's like a long shot of them, and you just hear them say, like, where do you think they're going? Probably the amusement park. We're going to the amusement park. Just so no one gets confused, they are on the trail.
Yeah. And at this point is where we start to get the idea, like, well, someone expounds on the idea that where the killer clowns may be from. Someone says, have you ever heard of the ancient astronauts? Maybe they were...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm probably I don't know if you would get the joke, but for me, it immediately made me think of, coincidence? Read the book from Time Life. All those Time Life magazine books back in the day about ancient astronauts and witches' covens and stuff like that. It might be a little before your time.
I definitely remember Time Life books, though.
Yeah.
And them being like popular for a while.
Well, you didn't have the internet, right? So
No, Time Life is now the internet.
yes.
Not quite as accurate.
Yeah, but way, way more porn though.
Than Time Life books? A
Time
little
Life
bit more,
books,
yeah. Death by Pies.
That was interesting.
Because they show up at the amusement park, which, by the way, it's closed. Like, I get that, but why wouldn't the guard be like, I don't know, in the park? Like, he's right outside. I don't know. Maybe that's not weird. It just felt weird to me.
Well, I mean, if he was the guard, like at the entrance of the park, maybe.
I guess so.
They should have got Kiss to help them out at this point.
Oh my god, this movie would have taken when it.
You calling.
Well, then we would have really had to up the ADR budget.
Yeah.
The clowns are talking on set, not Kiss. Gene Simmons is like, I feel like I should kill all the clowns single-handedly.
Can we get Motley Crue in here?
and then kill the rest of my band for not helping.
Yeah. And this is where we find out that Earth is the Milky Way's best drive-through. Because the clowns are just there to eat. Well, the clowns are just there to eat. They're just there for a snack and then to move on. Because that's another thing that somebody supposes as well about the clowns.
Oh, yeah. People are coming up with theories, and I'm like, don't even try, guys.
And
they're
that's
just killer clowns from outer space.
Exactly. They say it.
Yeah.
It's dropped. That's the only... There's no aha moment.
So they murder someone with pies.
Corrosive pies.
I'm just assuming they're just like super hot out of the oven, right?
Yep.
And this guy gets buried in them so much so that all that's left is his skeleton.
Yes.
And then the clown obviously puts the cherry on top. And I was surprised they didn't go this route, because when the heroes show up and one of the Terenzi brothers just kind of puts his finger in the icing, I thought after they noticed that it was a skeleton, I expected him to just kind of shrug and like take a lick of the icing anyway. I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Well, it would have been interesting because he probably would have died from whatever corrosive material that was.
That's true.
Mm. And then they get...
But was it like material, or were they just really hot pies?
I don't know. Well, actually, that's a fair point, because later on, somebody comes out and they do take a bite of it or something like that. I'm like, isn't that corrosive? Like, it melted a guy.
Yeah.
It would kill you.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe it was. Maybe they were just, like, super fresh hot out of the oven.
It would have been great if they had, like, a little oven prop.
This is where one of the Terenzi brothers just got to push the button.
They just got to push that button.
Fucking idiots.
They are so dumb. And they end up in a ball pit.
Yes.
But
with big boob
there is
clowns.
a bright side to their predicament.
I love how these guys aren't afraid of any of this stuff. It is just another wacky adventure for them.
They're like, clowns that we get to fuck.
Are you Debbie's roommates?
How stupid.
Well, to be fair, the clowns did have huge tatas, so...
Well, that grew for them.
Yes.
How did those clowns know that that's what they were after, too?
It was the 80s. The big boobs were really in vogue at the time.
And guys, listeners, not viewers, as Nathan pointed out to me before. You may think that was like a little joke, and I said like, oh, they're gonna fuck some clowns. No, they fuck those clowns.
They do, because when next time you see them, they've got clown lipstick all over them.
Oh. Yeah, they at least made out with those clowns.
Yes.
And knowing the Terenzi brothers, they probably got laid.
And here's the thing. These clown ladies must have been super pleased with the Terenzi brothers' loving, because they're the only ones who fall into the clutches of the clowns and aren't immediately put into cotton candy and killed, except for Debbie. So the Terenzi brothers fucked their way out of bit and killed.
They are sexperts.
They're big on the sexpionage.
Oh my god. No! Nick Fury, away with you!
So, one of the clowns comes in. He's just checking the nut sacks, and by nut sacks, I mean cocoon cotton candies. And this is where he drinks the guy with the huge silly straw.
Oh my god. And then, as they're being quiet, but then as soon as he, like, just barely turns the corner, they're like, oh my god, that clown! Like, top of their, like, yelling it out.
Yeah, nothing like saying, inconspicuous.
Also, Dave takes a real chance here.
How so?
When he shoots the bubble with Debbie inside. Debbie, don't move.
Yeah, he's like, no, you'll shoot Debbie. And he just blam.
Like, that was a risk. That was a real risk.
Well, you think about it. If he hadn't done anything, she would have been dead anyways because the clowns had her, in their clutches.
That's true.
Yeah.
Were they gonna drink her though? Like, I like this is okay.
That's the thing. Like,
I
never explained. Never explained.
It's actually kind of terrifying because I was like, what are they gonna do with her?
Yeah.
It's like that moment in. It's like I don't know why I'm referencing this. It's like that moment in Garbage Pail Kids. Where the main kid gets thrown into the sewer, and that one Billy Kidman guy gives him that look.
Oh yeah,
and you're like, where is this scene going?
But that's the thing; they don't do that. Clearly, they reproduce through the popcorn.
It's true, but how do they make the popcorn?
That's a possibility, I guess.
Because, I think Debbie's going to be making some popcorn.
Well, the Terenzi brothers did encounter sexualized clowns, so...
I want to see how that turned out.
I don't. I really don't.
They just start popping popcorn out.
Oh, gross.
Sequel, make it happen. Yeah, so we get a big chase sequence here, going through a bunch of... Oh, yeah, this is my favorite.
The door after door after door after door after door.
His delivery. Oh. He opens the door. He's like, another door. Pause. Another door. Pause. Another door.
Yes.
Just keep opening them, dude. We know there's other doors. Don't need you to announce every single door.
I gotta say, this movie, it's made in such earnest that you could tell it was tongue in cheek. They took it serious enough, but not so serious. It wasn't full on Sharknado 4, but it wasn't Troll 2.
And thank God for that.
Yeah, it's a nice middle ground between them, and that's what makes this movie so much fun.
Yeah, and it's the thing, too, like, a lot of people, like, we've mentioned just to each other that a lot of people have suggested movies like Ginger Dead Man and stuff. It's like, those movies are, like, stupid, but they try to be funny and stupid, and that's why they don't work. Like, they're trying too hard to wink at the audience, whereas this one is winking at the audience in a way, but also takes itself seriously enough to be like a watchable movie. Yeah,
you can tell there was enough. All right, let's take this seriously. It's kind of like a pun.
Yeah.
If you can lay in a pun just ever so slightly, so that everyone at first will go, "Oh, ha ha ha, that's terrible." That's the reaction you want to get from a pun, okay? If you lay the pun in so that you take a beat and then say it and lean into it and everybody's like, I want to stab you, that's a bad way to deliver a pun. This movie was more of the former than the latter.
That reminds me of someone...
What?
No, not you.
Oh.
Someone we both know, though.
Yes.
I won't shame him on the air.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Good dude.
So, yeah, another door! Another door! Another door! I was hoping, like, eventually he stopped, but I was hoping he was going to do it for, like, 10 doors.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh, guys, another door.
At one point, they're on a community theater stage. There's no two ways around it. You can see the divide on the floor, like the markings and stuff.
When they get surrounded, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the doorway, too, that, like, wobbles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's clearly made out of, like, cardboard.
Yeah.
And it's just like, see, that's all the thing. This movie is so practical and it's so effective.
Yes. And it's like I said, it's just silly enough to be like, okay, this is fun and this is funny, but it's just serious enough to be like, you should still be paying attention. Like, don't dismiss it.
This is the reverse Nick Fury.
Exactly. All the serious stuff that goes on in the movie, like the ventriloquist bit and the killer puppet clowns, like in Debbie's bathroom and stuff, all really unnerving. That kind of snaps you back into, like, okay, there's a legitimate threat to these people. And that's why this movie works so well. Yeah,
exactly. Guys, this is a great movie. Please watch this.
Yes. Yeah, I recommend it highly. I even before we get to the do you recommend it or not.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, we both do.
Super recommended.
Okay. So, and when the clown... Now, we get to this part, like you were saying, that on the community theater stage, where the clowns are surrounding them. This is another part where I thought the clowns were basically zombies.
Yeah.
They have weapons, but I mean, the way they're slowly, like, shuffling, like, none of the clowns that are surrounding them have the guns.
Yeah, the only time you ever see any of the clowns move with any sort of quickness either in this movie is that one clown that kind of springs away when they try to run him down with the police cruiser. That guy had game. He should have been in the NBA.
Yeah. Is that the same one that knocks the guy's head off?
No, I don't think that's the same one, because this was the one that did the killer shadow puppets.
Right. I gotta say, the one that knocks the guy's head off too, like, just to go back, harp on that for a second, that biker had it coming. He broke his bicycle.
Yes. And
he overacted. So he had it coming. Also, much better. It just reminds me again of Garbage Pail Kids, because this is a much better use of a scene with, like, bikers interacting with, like, a goofy alien thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and like you said in that podcast, Pee-wee was another good example.
Yeah.
Like, biker scenes can work. You just gotta know how to write them.
Yes, 100%. So,
yeah.
We're getting closer to the end here. I have a note, and I'm not sure why. The great and powerful dildo.
What?
That's a line from the movie.
The great and powerful dildo?
Yes. I think Mike says it. When he gets on the microphone with the Terenzi brothers, because they show up again. This is where you find that they've made out with the clown chicks.
Yes.
And he's trying to distract the clowns by getting them to pay attention to the clown motif going on with the truck. And he's like, I am the great and powerful dildo.
Pay no attention to the men in the truck.
Yeah.
Wait, you said Mike was using a microphone?
Yes.
Okay, go.
It was Mike on the mic. Yeah. Maybe it was the Terenzi brothers. I don't know.
No, it just microphone.
Okay.
Made me laugh. Made me giggle a bit. So yeah, they tricked that. It's like the whole thing where, like, the Ewoks see C-3PO as their god. Like, the clowns are like kneeling before this, like, clown on top of the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
But then the real motherfucking clown shows up.
Oh, it is a bitchin' final boss.
Oh, yeah, it is like a video game, isn't it?
Yep.
and I love how he comes down on strings. Like, they didn't hide that. They just made it part of the scene.
Yep.
And I also love how he, when they show the shot of him coming down alongside our heroes, it's the most obvious matte painting ever.
it was so much. It had such a final boss video game feel to it that when Patty was watching it, she actually nicknamed the clown Bowzo, like Bowser but Bozo.
That's clever.
I was like, yeah, good one. I'm putting that in the notes. We're using that one, kiddo.
Yeah, I make it in this town.
I need the kind of witty repartee to be on the podcasts.
Yeah,
But
see?
they defeat. They do defeat.
Bowzo?
Yeah, that's it. You damn clown.
Not before he seemingly kills the Terenzi brothers.
Yes.
By lightly causing some friction on the truck that blows it to smithereens.
Apparently, they sold ice cream and C4.
Oh my god. If we ever do what we were talking about earlier, we need to have a category that's just most unnecessary explosion. Because that's in every movie we've done.
Yeah. It's funny because at the end of it all, like they blow up the spaceship, like just blow it out of the sky.
Yep. Everybody's
like happy, but like 80% of your hometown is dead.
Also, wait, did you please tell our listeners how they kill the giant clown?
Well, he cracks him in the nose. They break the nose
with his badge.
Right.
Which, if you watch the shot, it blows up before he hits him.
One misfire in a fantastic movie. Come on.
Oh no! I mean, it's glorious it's a charm. But it's great. Yeah. So yeah, they're very happy that 80% of the town is dead. You're correct.
Yeah, and then the clown car, the clown car crashes and Dave is inside. Dave lives.
Yeah, Dave is alive, and so are the friggin' brothers.
They're
brothers.
Like
somehow between the time of the giant clown picking up the truck and tossing it, they were able to get into the ice cream freezer and survive that explosion.
They nuked the fridge.
Yeah. They nuked William the Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah.
So, also, just a random note here. Did you notice that one female cop with the amazing mullet?
No, I did not.
Oh man, she's standing like right behind Mike when they first get there. She's got glasses and she's chewing gum, and she has the the curliest mullet.
It's not even it's not even a dude with the mullet. It's like a chick.
Oh no! Oh yeah, it's a girl with like a curly mullet and chewing gum and big, thick framed glasses. It's like, hi, I'm the '80s. Welcome.
And this is where somebody gets a face full of corrosive pie filling, which I thought was their face was gonna melt off.
Well, that's my question here. Now I get because the whole thing is like, oh, do you think the clowns are gone, right? And then they get the pies in the face, but were they just harmless pies? Because I mean, they looked fine afterwards.
I guess.
Were the clowns just like, ah, you stinkers, we're still here, but we won't hurt you?
Yeah, we're leaving. You defeated us.
Because like you said, I expected like some face melting, but it was just like they just kind of stood there, and the movie ends like that, which is great. There's no long wrap up.
Yeah, and there's no that's the closest you get for like a shot of possible sequel.
Yeah,
because a lot of movies like that are really guilty for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it does have that horror trope that, quite frankly, I think is super annoying now and overdone, is when they have like the heroes prevail and then it's like, oh no, the bad guy survived and he killed them,
or even
at the very end just before the credits.
The even way back they were always doing, like, think about the end of Critters, when you think everything's all right and then they start doing like the camera pan or swoop around or whatever, and then you see, there's critter eggs under the house.
Yeah.
They
even did that with that shitty Godzilla movie.
Gino?
With
Godzilla in name only.
The one
Jericho likes.
Yeah. Sorry, Jerica. You do.
She said it.
Yeah, she did say it on the podcast. I think it's fair game.
So then they close, and the Killer Klowns theme is playing, and I got more of it, and I'm listening to it, and there's it almost sounds like they're ripping off Surrender in a couple of spots.
Killer
like Mommy's
Klowns.
all right, Daddy's all right, they just seem a little cray. Surrender. That.
Killer Klowns.
Killer
from
Klowns.
Space.
Yeah, see? Yeah, you hit it.
I got you.
And also, this was nice. This thing here at the end. Now, anybody who listens, who is a fan of the Anger video game nerd, will be happy to know that Fred Fucks was involved in this movie.
Who? Sorry?
Fred Fucks. There's a name in the credits. Fred, Fuchs. Fred Fucks.
Okay.
He's also in... there's a episode of the Angry Video Game Nerd where he talks about this person.
Okay, is he like a staple of these movies, or?
Well, that's it. Like, he's... It's weird. It's because he's not really... because Angry Video Game Nerd is all about video games.
Okay.
And this movie is obviously not a video game. So, I'm going to IMDb him.
Well, you do that while I tell you all. You know what? I don't have a whole lot of trivia about the making of the movie or anything, really.
Well,
I don't know if
Titus
you found
was there.
anything.
That's really about the only bit that I ever knew.
Yeah, that's true. Titus, Titus was there, and yeah. But this movie probably has the highest Rotten Tomatoes rating for any movie we've ever done.
Yeah,
because this has a 70.
Loved it.
71%.
So, yeah, we'd say don't take our word for it, but apparently the critics loved it.
You should take our word for it.
Absolutely.
Just yeah. So, but I did grab one negative one just so I can call this motherfucker out because this is from Steve Crum at video-reviewmaster.com. Top of the line site. He says, "The title says it all and is the only reason to see this misfire." So let me ask you this, Steve Crum. You would watch a movie just because... So you're saying you should watch it because the title is funny? Which also, that's... I get he doesn't like it, but like... It's like... You should watch it because the title's funny, but that's the only reason.
I don't know. I've watched movies for less.
But like, if the title's funny, I think the joke's like right there. You don't need to see the movie.
True.
But then you get some. This is my favorite, absolute favorite one. Actually, I'll save that for later. But this one says from Blu-ray.com. The title alone encourages immediate dismissal. Bullshit. But for those on the hunt for something miles away from the norm that showcases truly inspired movie-making minds, Killer Klowns from Outer Space is a superb cult distraction. It's quite the build-up.
Yeah.
Film Freak Central says, "Boy, you know I really like the Kyoto Brothers' Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I can't help it." And then this is my absolute favorite one. Saved it for the end. From efilmcritic.com. This is all capital letters. It's got clowns from outer space,
and they're
killing people.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Brilliant.
So yeah, check it out, man. I recommend it. It was fun. There was from the Grolsch Filmworks. They have a bad review that says Kyoto takes, that's the brothers who produced this movie, an alien invasion plot familiar from the 50s and makes it all his own by rigorously and liberally painting it with every clown reference imaginable. For some reason, it's a negative review, but that really seems like a positive to me when I read that. That would make me go see that movie.
Yeah, it's a movie called Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and there's a lot of clown puns. Geez, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea they would harp on that.
It definitely delivers what it promises.
Yeah, you don't go to Killer Klowns from Outer Space expecting Citizen Kane acting.
True.
Besides, we all know Citizen Kane was a hack job, right? We're all in agreement with that. What a piece of garbage. What were they thinking with that one?
I know. We should totally do that one.
That's actually, I don't want to jump ahead, but that's like in a month from now. But do you have I think there's a friend of What Were They Thinking you'd like to maybe mention. I know he does. You guys don't get along, but
hey,
you maybe want to mention
the
his
check cleared. So
check cleared this week.
Check cleared this week. So
okay, perfect.
Once you're done checking out this podcast on YouTube, feel free to plop in the following into the search for in the YouTube, Montrose Monkington TV. It'll take you to the channel for Montrose Monkington III, all of his escapades and exploits as he interviews people in his community, dissects popular culture from time to time, and enjoys some wrestling. So that's Montrose Monkington TV on YouTube, and you can also find him on Facebook, Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends on Facebook.
And I believe just recently he did an interview with Shane Ogden.
Yep.
Yeah, he is a good guy. I recognized Shane from the video. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he was hosting a trivia out in the valley here, and Montrose managed to nail him down for an interview. And real nice guy. He was a real good sport about the whole thing.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess it's you want to tell us maybe a little bit about what's coming up?
I've got a hint for our next movie.
Which, by the way, guys, we are back to our 2-week schedule now.
Yeah. So, my hint is Saw-abiding Punisher.
There you go.
There you go. So,
there you have it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, I noticed now when I came into this lush padded studio, it's padded because we like to run around a lot and run into the walls.
It's
but
for
I noticed yeah, exactly. Oh, the audio has been. I just want to thank the audio technicians today. Like fantastic work, guys.
Yeah, excellent people.
No delays whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Just top notch, right on time. I'm just saying this, guys. Thank God you don't hear our outtakes. But yeah, like when you walked in today, like I noticed like at the beginning, right at the beginning of the taping, you kind of looked like you were kind of holding something back, like you maybe like had a question or.
Well, I mean, I guess I want to put it all, I guess all at this point, because after seeing this movie, and I could just think of like in a movie where there are killer clowns. And they are from outer space.
Accurate.
Yeah, and they're trapping people in giant nutsack-looking cotton candy devices, and then in a movie where they're drinking those people with huge, gigantic, crazy straws, while Dean Wormer's more hateful brother, who is a deputy, is not doing his job at all. While a girl and her ex-boyfriend and her current boyfriend are trying to save the world from the aforementioned clowns from outer space who are killing, and they're aided by the idiot friends of her current boyfriend who they just want to sell some ice cream and make out, in a movie where everyone celebrates despite the fact that 80% of their hometown is now dead. I need to know.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?